Welcome back to Ellis Park in Johannesburg, now known as Coca-Cola Park, and the venue is being renovated for the 2010 Soccer World Cup. So it won't be a capacity crowd today, and they are expecting around about 50,000. Brilliant sunshine, a very warm afternoon, temperatures said to be in the mid-20s. And the entertainment continues here as we get set to welcome the Wallabies and the Springboks out onto the park for what will be their 68th test since the first one way back in 1921. Wallabies dressing room motto, and well, they hopefully have learned some lessons from that Auckland test where they really didn't turn up to play. The Springboks, though, under more pressure.
Yeah, it'll be mental for the Australians, whereas for the Springboks, they've got a big one to turn around, and they've got to show pride and respect, and the senior players take some control, Kernsey.
Yeah, well, I mean, these teams, I think, talent-wise, are fairly evenly matched, and it is going to come down to who's got their head right again, but for very, very different reasons. The Wallabies' complacency could be the issue. For the Springboks, they know that it's really just pride that's got to get them over the line. They can't outskill the Wallabies, but they can certainly will hurt them with their physicality, which is what I think they'll try and do.
Okay, well, here is the South African team. Take us through it, Mardo.
Well, some of their better players last week. Mtawawira at loosehead prop was one of their best. So was Bismarck du Plessis. It wasn't these three that let the team down. They were strong. And Becker and Matfield. The line-out went pretty well from last week. As we say, technically they were fairly good. They need to be running. Both of them are also running second rowers. So not a problem there. Their back row, if there's been a concern with them, it's the fact that, yes, they cause destruction at the breakdown, but they ignore the ball at times. Schalk Burger perhaps needs a little bit more support, but they are wonderful if they do have the ball when they're running. Butch James and Fourie du Preez, one of the worries. If they win ball, these two may finally go forward. That's been their problem. They've been going sideways. Butch James' first step's been across field. Two of their better players, of course, Jacobs, 2 tries last week, some real form, and de Villiers has been their best player all season. For me, though, the weakness is out wide. These back three, fairly inexperienced.
That's right. Odwar Ndungane comes in for the injured JP Peterson, and Nokwe is there because Brian Habana is still injured.
Yeah, tough week.
Here's Victor.
Yes, I think so. Back on track, we want to get that point.
Aspect to lose a couple in a row is certainly a tough element to come back from.
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy. I think to get the guys motivated, they really want to come back and they want to show the whole country as a team we can play much better, but just that confidence, and I think we have to go out there, just do the basics and everything else will follow.
Tactically, will we do anything different today?
Yeah, I don't think that much differently, but we want to play in their half. We want to put them under pressure there, so hopefully we can do that with a good kicking game.
If the coach is under pressure, so too is the captain. Here's the replacements, and I like the look of that Australian bench with Moore and Baxter, very experienced. George Smith, the world's most capped flanker, Sheehan, Cross and Mitchell.
You make that point, but there is a worry. If Matt Giteau gets injured, they do not have a specialist fly half. We'll address that one when it happens, but it may end up being Sterling Mortlock who goes to fly half.
16 there is Stephen Moore, so Pollotta now gets the start this week, and a lot of pressure on his throwing.
Crucial, Clarkie, that he gets the first couple right. If he does, he'll be fine. It's just a matter of his confidence. If he misses the first couple badly, then look out. He is an outstanding footballer, though. Terrific around the park. His scrummaging's improved out of sight, so I'm looking forward to a big game from him.
Mardo, the Springboks, as they have a quiet moment before they run out, they have Majati as a change in the front row, Ndungane on the wing, and you know, there's probably 5 or 6 other props that could play there, so it's not really a matter of their depth coming into fashion here today. It's really a matter of attitude.
Well, you saw some solemn moments there. There's a couple of Aussies in the crowd. They are grossly outnumbered, of course. The on-field entertainment. Yeah, it's about attitude for the Springboks. Psychologically, they've got everything to play for, including their nation's pride.
Does it worry you, Kernsey, that the Wallabies will know that irrespective of the result today, they can still win the Tri-Nations by beating the All Blacks in Brisbane in a fortnight?
Well, I'm hoping to think that Robbie Deans is starting to instill in this Wallaby side the same attitude that the Crusaders had. They didn't care what the state of the game was or state of the competition is. They just had the professionalism to keep going through it and striving for victory, to strive for perfection. And, they're just clinical, the way the Crusaders played. And hopefully the Wallabies are going to head in that direction as well. So I'm trying to be positive about that.
Entertainment just about ready to wrap up here. Wherever you're watching around Australia, it's great to have your company for our live and nationwide coverage. When the match kicks off, you will be able to watch it uninterrupted. And we are struggling to find Aussies in the crowd here at Ellis Park, but maybe the odd one or two here and there.
Well, they'll be very close to those big glasses of beer those two blokes had. Seem to be enjoying themselves. That guy making a decision between France and South Africa. I think he's got the wrong day.
But perfect conditions here. Head-to-head, South Africa have won 40. Australia 26. Has been one draw over the years in South Africa. The locals have won 27 times, Australia 8. But here in Johannesburg, Australia's only win was way back in 1963. The Wallabies led by John Thornett on that occasion, and they went back-to-back back in 1963. But in Johannesburg, it's South Africa 8, Australia 1. So Sterling Mortlock brings his team down the stairs here underneath the main stand at Ellis Park. An 8-year drought in South Africa might have been broken last week in Durban. Now it's time to back it up. Australia has gone back-to-back in the Republic just once, 45 years ago. They haven't won at altitude since 1963. They were 1 from 9 in Joburg, with wins in Sydney last year and Perth, and also Durban this year. The Wallabies are looking to make it 4 in a row over the Springboks for only the second time. They last won 4 on the trot in 99-2000 under coach Rod McQueen. Coming off their third biggest win in South Africa against the Springboks, 27-15 last week. And they've only been able to score 10 tries in 9 tests on this ground. So playing on the high belt has caused Australian teams many problems. And they're out there now. 5 changes to the starting team, Kernsey.
Yeah, I tell you, and the concern for me, Clarkie, is the second row. Horwell and McMenamin, very inexperienced, and that is an area where Becker and Matfield could really try and take control and really get on top of those guys mentally more than physically. So that is one crucial area. Who's going to call the line-outs and how well will they be executed? Secondly, it's going to be Sam Cordingley. I think that the Springboks are going to try and put enormous pressure on him at the breakdown to try and, take Matt Giddo out of the game. If Cordingley doesn't get his passes away, it shuts Giddo down. So I think that's where the Springboks are going to attack. But I think it's a pretty good Wallaby side, Clarkie. You know, those changes that they've made them because the replacements are absolute quality. You know, Phil Warder come in to Tafu instead of Stephen Moore, Adam Ashley Cooper instead of Drew Mitchell. They're all outstanding players, and that's what's making this Wallaby team. It's the strength of the bench as well as the strength of the team.
Well, the South Africans might be out of the running of the Tri-Nations, but they are desperate to win today and relieve the pressure on the players and the coaching staff. Still missing Habana, Barkis Boita, John Smith, and those shoes are proving to be very hard to fill indeed. And also, of course, there are 2 changes to the starting team that ran on in Durban last week. Brian Majadi for the suspended CJ van der Linden, Odwa Ndungane for the injured JP Peterson. Coach de Villiers has been heavily criticised for trying to play an expansive game plan. Many have called for his sacking. Will he stick to his guns today and ask the team to stay with his plan, or will he revert to the more conservative game plan that took them to the top of World Rugby last year when they won the World Cup? This is their last chance to win a Tri-Nations match at home in 2008 after losses to the All Blacks in Cape Town and Australia in Durban. And Marto, they'll have the crowd support with them initially. What's going to happen if Australia scores first, though?
Well, like last week, the Australians took the crowd out of the game. It's a bigger crowd. Batfield takes them onto the field. They're roaring now. They'll be aiming to start well because both these teams, whenever they've been ahead at halftime this season, have won on every occasion. So that is vital. Whenever they've been behind, they've lost. Now, we've heard our spies within the South African camp have told us there are some serious divisions and doubts on which way, the style they're playing, etc. But this is a day when the players, the 15 on the field, especially led by that man, this is a day when they stand up and be counted.
77th Test match for Victor Matfield, so he's now 5th equal with Mark Andrews on the all-time Springbok caps. We're just standing by for the national anthems. Australia 6 from 7 in 2008. South Africa not having the best of years. They've won 5 from their 9 outings so far. So in brilliant sunshine at Ellis Park in Johannesburg, it's time for the national anthems. The local fans were booing their national team after the loss in Durban last week. Today they were singing as one, willing on the Springboks, the wounded Springbok. Can they turn it around here at what they call their traditional home? Ellis Park, now Coca-Cola Park. These two teams have had some great clashes in the Republic in the professional era. The average winning margin in the last 11 tests between these two countries in South Africa, 5.4 points. So it's been very tight indeed. The last time they clashed here was in 2006 when the Springboks beat the Wallabies 24 points to 16. On the Tri-Nations table, South Africa out of the running on 5 points. Australia 13, New Zealand 14. Irrespective of the result today, the Tri-Nations will be decided in Brisbane in a fortnight at Suncorp Stadium. That should be a sellout. It's not a sellout here because there are many renovations going on around the ground, and of course South Africans are such a proud nation. Quite a few have told us that they really didn't want to be here today because they don't like seeing the Springboks lose. So not a lot of confidence going into the match. Bryce Lawrence from New Zealand is our referee. Assistant referees Lyndon Bray from New Zealand and also Rob Debney from England. TMO is Romain de Poitou from France. So Matt Giteau will get things underway. Andres Becker and the Beast Ntorira waiting. Tri-Nations kicks off. And Becker taken by the men in goal. De Pria goes to the air. Pressure on Hines here earlier on. And he takes it well, Peter Hines.
Release!
11 metres inside South African territory. Here's Rocky Elsom, suspended for a week and then appealed. Had that suspension overturned. And no one was really arguing with that. Here's Matt Dunning. Starts today again ahead of Al Baxter. Tamana Tahu, out it goes. Matt Giddo, grubber kick. And Butch James will watch it go into touch, but well, a solid start by the Wallabies.
Yeah, pretty good. The one thing I've been concerned about, only because I haven't really seen it that much, is Tamana Tahu's longer passing game. We know he can pop a terrific short ball, but nice to see that his first pass, his first touch, went beautifully to hand.
Right to left, he's fine, long ball. Left to right, he struggles a little bit, but that's when he throws the short one. I think Australia won the early skirmishes there.
First line out of the match, Bismarck du Plessis. Still no John Smith. It's sloppy and it's been won. Hall takes them on. Big James Hall is only a metre out. Great opportunity here for the Wallabies to silence this crowd at Ellis Park. It's a little slow coming out of there. Cordingley waits.
Leave him.
Still waiting. Springboks are able to get their defensive line out. Here we go with Dunning. He's pushed back.
Release!
They take it off the back. Real pressure on the Springboks early on. After a very ordinary line out wide they go. Gitto over the top. It needed to go to hand. Now Hines gets the fen going. Knockway rides him into the turf. Try possibly goes begging over there.
Brilliant play, Peter Hines. He bought time by those two fans. Horwell wants to take it again, but they've got the advantage.
And Mortlock goes in to lend a hand.
Still advantage.
Still advantage. Still there. Now Gitto gives it to Rocky Elsom. Oh, big tackle on Elsom. The crowd love that. Going nowhere, so we'll come back. It's a free kick.
Go a scrum now. It's taking a while, Kearnsey.
Yeah, well, the Springboks
13.
desperately trying to slow that down so the Wallabies couldn't get the quick tap going. In fact, saw Butch James run in to clean out Phil Waugh. There was the original mistake at the line out, straight over the top of Matt Phil Hall. He got close, got further than I thought he'd go. And then this is where the South Africans slow it down. Pretty clever in the way they did it.
Australians having taking a while to make a decision. They finally go with the scrum, the first one of the game.
Don't be surprised to see a wide kick to Takiri. I've just seen the thumbs up from Takiri to Giddo.
Gee, I'll tell you what, I'm surprised he didn't go to Hines with that method rather than the long pass which went loose. Hines had 20 metres beyond their last defender in Janches.
Well, Giddo had the right idea because there was space out there, just the execution was poor. Big scrum from the South Africans. They want to exert their dominance this phase.
Hold it, here it is. Here it is, please.
That first scrum is such a massive psychological issue.
Guys, listen. We touch on the call. Touch on the call.
Majati on this side looked like he was boring in terribly
he
then.
turned in straight away.
Touch. Pause. Engage. Go half.
Cordingley puts it in. Not a bad scrum, solid from the Wallabies. And now Giddo. Here's Tamana Tahu. Step past one, lays it back.
Get out, Jen.
What's Butch James doing there? He's kidding.
That is extremely obnoxious that Butch James just standing there without... He's got to get a warning about a yellow card there. Because that is a try-stopping manoeuvre. Look at James there, number 10. He's offside, the ball comes out. He's in the way of Cordingley to start, then turns around and hacks it downfield. Deserves the 3 points against them.
Wallabies enjoying all the field position and possession in the opening 4.5 minutes.
I like the look of the first scrum, Kearnsey.
Yeah, Wallabies look pretty solid there. Majati was trying to turn in and he's standing up in the scrum. So a big job for Ben Robinson there just to try and keep him down and in position.
Just remind me, I obviously know my scrums, but for everyone else, that is to stop Stephen Moore seeing the feed.
Well, to Tafu Portanau.
Oh, sorry, Portanau.
And it puts pressure on his, if you drive the scrum across the field, you're actually pushing the hooker away from the ball as Giddo slots that goal.
Australia 3, South Africa 0. Fox Sports live at Ellis Park in Johannesburg.
I know. Be positive.
Yeah, I saw on the way back Bryce Lawrence. You may have heard it at home. Bryce Lawrence,
Chasers.
the referee, having a chat to Butch Jones, is about to restart, telling him to be positive and watch yourself.
They went long that time with the kick-off, and Lottie Dakiri sends it into touch. And we're going to have a line out with the South African throw about 15 metres inside Wallaby territory.
5.5 minutes. They haven't had a sniff of ball yet, the Springboks. Quick start there. Thrown to the beast. Ball goes to ground.
Straight down, so the referee says that's okay. Dupria. James and the Wallabies up very quickly on that occasion. 10-metre mark, Wallaby territory. Dupria.
That's forward there.
Knocked forward there by, I think, Tahu in the tackle.
Yeah, just couldn't pick it up. Damana Tahu. Bit of push and shove going on in the back play. Something said to Tahu on that occasion. They'll be trying to unrattle the man having his first start in a test match. There it is there, Tamata Tahu. Just couldn't control the intercept attempt.
You can see there the box attempting to play a lot flatter than we're used to seeing in the last few weeks. Centrefield scrum represents an opportunity. Jean de Villiers is the man directly behind the scrum.
Stand there, sit. Here's the mark. On the box. Go.
Tatafu Plana now got to take control of his scrum. He's just taking his time, getting the Wallaby scrum ready.
Pause, engage.
And when the ball comes out, Phil Waugh on this side is going to have to work hard in defence.
Dupria gives it to Butch James. There's a double round with Spies. Odwin Indengani taken about 30 metres out. Dupria back up from a standing start. Wrapped up, ball and all. Here's Dupria and Butch James is kicking over the top. Adam Ashley Cooper, no, it's going to be there for Takiri. He beat one and gave his troops enough time to get back there. Accordingly, we'll go give it to his captain now. Oops! Mortlock. Hines. Trouble here for the Wallabies. No, he's gone away. Oh, and they've left it behind. Helter Skelter stuff.
Now's got it.
They'll be keen to put this one out. Gitto's sent there to receive Cordingley's pass this time.
Well, Hines did wonderfully well there, and in the end, it could have been a breakout.
Oh, it's not finished yet, though. Huge kick, may bounce into touch. Yankees has his hands on it.
So now the Springboks will bring it back for another crack.
He's having putting up the midfield box.
Well, there's plenty of altitude, and it's sticking in the air. Oh, it's play on. And Odwar Ndungani gives it to Juan Smith. Springboks on the roll now. Inside Wallaby territory. Wallabies get back in their defensive line. Wide they go. Here's Yanchers. Oh, great ball! Becker! Andreas Becker scores for the Springboks. First try of the match to the home side. First try in Test rugby for the big lock. 208 centimetres tall, 120 kg. Couldn't believe it. Took a brilliant ball, and there was nobody in front of him.
Well, Cliffy Palu was the Australian defender who matched up on Janchi. So the fact he put a bit of footwork on him altered. I'm not sure who the next defender was, but it made him come out of the line, and Becker ran a super line. Oh, there's the ball. Good chase by Yanchi. So he was involved in the turnover there. Went to the beast. They went to that side. They had room out here. They had men isolated. Look at Janchi's on Cliff Palu. That's where he set him up. The defender there. It was Tamana Tahu came in, which completely stuffed Sterling Mortlock and allowed Becker to run the line. It's straight to the line.
Yeah, and Becker, one of the better players on the field last week for South Africa. He's a very good runner. Made plenty of tackles last week, and gee, that's a nice piece of work from him.
Communication worry there between Tahu and Mortlock. There was no need. Tahu didn't trust Palu to make the tackle. He'd made the tackle. He should have held out.
So James, who hasn't had the kicking boots on in recent weeks, just 1 from 2 last week. That's a good start though. So a converted try for the Springboks, and they lead 7 points to 3.
Wallabies will be a little concerned about that because the Springboks did make some easy ground in a couple of phases there. There's the long ball. There's the footwork from Judges. He's got good feet.
Oh, you see that. It completely... Now, Sterling Mortlock, one of the great defenders in world rugby, it completely stuffed him, the fact that Tamana Tahu came in.
Now Giddo goes high with the restart. Taken by the Springboks.
Taken back.
Taken back into the 22, so James cannot kick it out on the full. Now
This crowd's loving this. This week they're into the game. Last week in Durban, they were taken out of it by the Wallabies.
10 metres, please.
Well, there's no chase whatsoever there from the Wallabies.
Well, Adam Ashley Cooper tried to get through, but Springboks blocked him and wouldn't let him through.
Look at this. May go too long. And go and go. No, they can't do that. The ball has stopped. 22. If the ball was still rolling and Peter Hines placed it after it had gone over the with his feet over the dead ball line, it would have been back for a scrum from where the ball was kicked. But as it was, the ball had stopped. Therefore, a 22 restart. Gitto, a quick one to himself. Forward.
Oh, well, they're trying things, the Wallabies, but it's not coming off.
That's one of the things Robbie Dean says. I don't care about mistakes. It means you're trying things. If that pass came off, they had a 4-on-2 overlap.
You just have to watch the way the Springboks are flying into these phases here. Here's a little kick, which was well executed. The pass was not. Nice tackle from the beast you saw in the background on Giddo.
Got their tails up, the South Africans.
Yeah, they're flying into these breakdowns. Not much effort to stay on their feet.
BI Chappie on the bench this week after that positive start. First try.
Big blindside here too, Clarkie. Almost 20 metres. You've got to think they might have a dab to Kiri defending on his own on the blind.
Stay down, please.
No, Spieth picks it up and is allowed to run.
Well, Scott Berger took out Phil Waugh, so he couldn't make a tackle.
Good run here from Joanne Smith, and so the Springboks on the charge again as this crowd gets behind them. Free kick against the Wallabies. They take it quickly. Dupria wide they go. Nokwe! Try to South Africa and the Springboks. Well, they're going wide. They're sticking to their game plan, and so far it's working. Easy metres from the scrum, and then they went wide, and Nokwe scores. It's 12 points to 3.
Well, Spieth's taking it off from that scrum to the left-hand side. That took the Wallabies by surprise. It was easy. Abby, you talked easy metres. You're right. Waugh was held up there. Got the 5 metres over the advantage line. The Australians on the right of the screen were short on numbers. They were keen to go there again, the box, but they decided. Dupree said, no, we'll still go there. That was super hands, John de Villiers. Obviously called by Nokwe. Easy as you like in the end.
Yeah, it was Waugh being taken out earlier that they got the advantage, and there it was, just beautiful hands. De Villiers been the best player all year.
Good ball there by Furi Dupree, the long ball to start that. Wallabies having a serious look at themselves there. Mortlock in the centre. No problems, 12-3, early days, plenty of time. But they need to tighten up their defence, that's for sure.
Well, defence has been one of their specialties so far.
Especially the scrambling defence if the defence is breached. On that occasion, they were way short. I think the box may have identified the Australians have been leaving that gap out wide.
Butch James, difficult attempt from out wide. It's not going to come back for him. So it's 12 points to 3. South Africa over Australia. Try to Becker and a try to Nokwe.
Oh, this shows it. Have a look at the top of the screen. It was Adam Ashley Cooper struggling. There was no way. This man is a speech to Nokwe. He wasn't going to get there after the defence was breached. And the high five. He'll remember that one.
And you do notice the extra venom in the speed of the Springboks and the running of the Springboks. Everything they're doing, extra venom.
And Spieth took that one from the restart. Wallabies need to get the hands on the ball. It was a promising start, but since the first 5 minutes, they really haven't had any quality ball. Anything they've had, they've basically coughed up. Adam Ashley Cooper goes to the air and lets
Here's to chase his own kicks, though. He sends Hines through and gets up. Again, bad kick chase. Berger gets the chance.
10-metre mark, South African territory.
Oh, what is that pass?
That's a wild one, and Spieth from a standing start.
Stay
Springboks have it.
James to pump it long again.
Stay.
Well, there's no one home on the right wing for Australia. Cooper's moving across.
Out of Ashley Cooper, sends it back down. Taken. Diving catch from Yatches. And this crowd is well and truly behind their team this week, no doubt about that.
It's forward advantage.
Lost forward by one of the Wallabies. And Space got the ball away. Oh, Becker! They're on fire at the moment, the Springboks. Great support play. De Villiers, now he coughs it up and the Wallabies
Phil
have got
Ward,
their
if
hands
they go
on.
left, they keep going.
Wide they go now. Now here's Peter Hines. Inside it goes Matt Gitto. Gitto. Hines.
With Takiri on the outside.
Hines to Kiri. Oh! Put it down with the line wide open.
Snatched at it.
It wasn't the best of passes.
Oh, but he snatched at it. It went at his shoulder, but it was takeable. I think he was under pressure because of the cover defence.
You needed to be a little bit deeper to carry on that occasion. You see that he had to reach behind for the ball. Here's where it started. The tackle from Tamana Tahu came loose. Phil Waugh snoops it up straight onto it. And then they go wide. And here's the last pass. Oh.
Well, he put a couple of passes down last week, Lottie, which was uncharacteristic, then bounced back to score the try to redeem himself.
Well, I think he was keeping it on that cover defence. They would have caught him, but I think he realised I've got to get this ball, transfer it to my left, and then use the fen. And he did a lot of it before he caught the ball.
But still positive attacking signs there from the Wallabies. Good vision. They saw they had a chance on the left and they almost took it.
Very Crusader-esque, going wide quickly from the turnover.
It was a good ball. Hines, it went wide to Hines. South Africa have now had more of the ball. First 5 minutes was all Australia. Since then it's turned itself around. I'm sure the Australians can do a lot more with the kick returns. They're going to get plenty. Butch James this term can put it out on the full if he wishes.
Stay behind the ball, half.
Dupria.
Play on, play on.
Here's De Villiers.
Release 7.
Free kick. Phil Waugh told to release. He didn't.
Dupria grabs the ball. He'll just have a hack at it. Yes, goes long. Oh, goes huge. Ashley Cooper throws the quick one to Takiri.
It was taken into the 22. Mortlock, halfway. There's the kick ahead by Sterling Mortlock. It's a bit wobbly back there, but James is inside his 22. And it comes back to the Wallaby 22. So here goes Adam Ashley Cooper this time.
Oh, far too big and no one
Wide.
pressuring.
Dupria.
Off the side of the boot, well out.
Well, that saves Adam Ashley Cooper. Dupria, gee, there was 3 of them in the game against New Zealand 2 weekends ago in Cape Town. History repeats.
The thing about the Wallaby, you're talking about the chase coming out to the kick. The Springboks are forming a line and they're basically knocking him over so he can't get through and put his players on side. He's got to have someone back with him who can put the rest of the team on.
To Tafu Pilota now with the throw into the line-out.
Lottie Takiri's at second receiver outside Gitto.
Here's Gitto now. Tahu got past one. Good ball. Ashley Cooper needed to offload, but he took the tackle.
Wouldn't Hines have loved that one immediately? Quick ball.
Short ball this time for Robinson.
High tackle.
The referee says it's okay.
Big holes on the right for the Wallabies.
Rocky Elson from a standing start. Becker takes him.
Loose play.
Green foot. That one's a knock on green.
Knocked on by the Springboks as Gitto.
Oh, look at
Fires it
that.
up to Mortlock and he's on his own. He looked to the left, couldn't find anyone. McMenamin. James Horwell.
Ball's out.
Accordingly, had to go in and he was claimed immediately.
Wallabies getting isolated, doing well to regather the ball each time.
Looks like it's going to be Ben Robinson at scrum half.
Free kick to another tackle.
Well, he's given a free kick to the Springboks.
Horwell not releasing.
He didn't the not releasing call, did he? Signal.
There's David Nusafora next to manager Phil Thompson at the front of the screen. Nathan Sharp also there, not even on the reserves bench. Called over here, not needed. Not out, Ashley Cooper.
10 metres gold!
Again, no pressure
It's taken back.
on the Springboks, but it was taken back. So Butch James, there's plenty of open field.
Butch is back. These are more like World Cup tactics, playing field position before they have a go.
Now here's Peter Hines onto the left foot. And into touch safely.
Forwards will be happy with that. He's kicked it into the shade.
Halfway through the first half. South Africa 12, Australia 3. 2 tries to none.
Oh, it's been played at an enormous pace, this test match so far. The players aren't tired.
Eyes up.
Bryce Lawrence having a few gap issues between the two lineouts. Hugh McMenamin being warned.
One by the Wallabies.
Oh, Wool!
Flips it back on the inside to Tafu Pilota now. He lays it back. Here's Phil Waugh running into the traffic. Taken by his opposite number, Joanne Smith. There for Cordingley. Pilota now. Stolen, but now it comes out the back. And Giddo goes to the end. Now Mortlock is chasing. But Yetches takes it well. Yetches.
There's gaps in centre field. This is the chance to run it.
Here's Takiri. Gives it to Gitto. Dummies! Good support play. Takiri inside. Springboks 22. Here's Tuana Tahu. Not a great pass. Elsum. Pilota now. Inside it goes. They keep it alive. Ben Robinson hammered there by the beast. But Robinson lays it back. Hugh McMenamin only knows one way, and that's forward, and he's picked up and driven into the turf. Still there for the Wallabies though. Giddo, Mortlock, now Palu, Takiri. Some of these players look to be out on their feet. It's helter-skelter. But it's still the Wallabies. They need to make something of this. Now they lose it. And indeed, I reckon that could be a bit of fatigue. Now, nobody's at the back. Rocky Elsum has been smart enough to realise that, and he goes back. And here's Butch James.
Over clean ball.
Long again. Here's a familiar side. Adam Ashley Cooper going back. This one might screw into touch. It does.
Great kick, Butch James. Perfect bounce.
They are stuffed, the Wallabies. They are all walking back to this hands-on heads. Butch James knows it. That's why he drives it down there, and his forwards can walk forwards.
Lottie Takiri, Sterling Mortlock at the back. 21 just getting on his feet here. Jeroen Pienaar.
One captain on
Yeah, I
three.
think Knockware, the left winger for the Springboks, the try scorer, he's limping. So too Yanchis is under some trouble.
Referee wants to throw it in again.
Takiri, he had several touches and involvement there. He's still walking back into position. He's tired.
This is Elsum that's down, is it?
Yeah, Elsum was very slow coming back before.
Gee, I would have, if I was a South African fan, I'd be a bit disappointed the referee picked that up then. Joanne Smith was through.
Some good play from the Wallabies there. They're finding some space out wide. When they change direction, there's plenty of room. A bit like the tale of the Springboks last week. Whenever they made a gap, they just needed one more runner that wasn't there, or they dropped the last ball, and that's what's happening with the Wallabies. Takiri made a good run. Palu did. They just needed one more man there.
Vital line out.
One by Joanne Smith. Space. Try.
Not necessarily.
No, he's lost it. Oh, it had 5 points written all over it.
Why didn't he throw his arm out immediately, Pierre Speaks? He's having a bit of a think about what happened there. How did he blow it?
Yeah, poor line out from the Wallabies. Massive holes there. And it was down to Takiri. Oh, how well did Takiri do to be able to do that? Big scrum from the Springboks here, expected.
Just watch that scrum feed, Lyndon, there.
And a let off for the Wallabies there. It's 12 points to 3 still.
Crouch.
Springboks well and truly ready for this scrum. Wallabies just getting set.
Touch. Pause. Engage.
Oh, big scrum. Springboks won a try.
And Juwan Smith.
Have to be over. No!
Wallabies under all sorts of pressure. Scrum hammered on that occasion.
Miracle if they hold out here.
The Springboks just sense that they are heading in for the kill.
Advantage.
Advantage. It's a penalty advantage as well.
Come back to the hind feet. Still penalty advantage.
Spieth having another crack at them. Wide they go.
It's not knocked on.
Chance out wide.
Try time.
Nokwe! Yongi Nokwe has got a double. And the Springboks are back.
It had an air of inevitability about it. The Springboks knew they could do whatever they like because they held a full-arm penalty advantage up their sleeve. They had a couple of cracks. Spieth was pulled up. They went, no, the Wallabies defence is strong inside. Where is it weak? They didn't have the numbers out wide again. And it was Nokwe for the second time today who took advantage of the one-man down. Wallabies had to compact their defence. Look at the call goes out wide. John de Villiers knew it was on. He's told them to go wide. Jacobs almost a knock forward there. Endengani, the right winger, gives it to his left winger. There was a spare man, Janchis, out there. Easy as you like. He was cheeky at the end as well.
Well, we're not watching the most crucial part of this, which was going back to the scrum. The Wallaby scrum crumpled like an old papadum. The Springboks able to force them back and force a tight head. And it was always going to happen from that.
I'll tell you what, for the technically minded who remembers Pierre Spieth when he was tackled by Lottie Takiri, went to the ground. The next player over that knocked it out of his hands, that was actually a penalty right there. Could have been a penalty try. When the man's off their feet, you can't go diving on it. So those who noticed would have realised they probably deserved a try about 2 minutes ago. Guitar doing a lot of talking there because he's the man at the inside of that defence that's been found short twice.
So James.
Well, there's a let-off.
17 points to 3. 26 and a half minutes gone at Ellis Park.
Here it is again. Count the numbers. Look at them out wide. The Springboks were doing that. Look at Janchis right on the sideline. They had a spare man. The bald-headed Janchis didn't even need it because Nokwe was quick enough to capitalise.
So that's 3 test tries for Nokwe. Scored on debut against Argentina a few weeks ago. And now 2 tries on the left wing, and before the match we thought that he might be the weakness.
Well, we haven't tested him, Clarkie. We haven't put a high ball up to him.
No, and every time he gets the ball in a scoring position, he has nobody in front of him.
He hasn't been touched for his 2 tries.
Taken back.
Now here's Janchis going high.
Right, the Australians have got to do a bit better when their kick returns. They've got 3 men back there this time, but still he's going to pump it high and chase.
10 metres gold. Stay here.
No chase,
Stay
no
one.
pressure here.
Janchis.
They're kicking it to the wrong bloke. We don't want to kick it to Janchis. You want to kick it to the other 2 blokes, Ndengani and Nokwe, who are not good under the high ball.
And not noted kickers. Janchis is a fullback. He's just pumped that 50 metres to pay the Wallabies back. At altitude, it's a lot easier. Kick it to somebody who can't kick.
Work the gap.
We talked about this last week in the Wallabies game in terms of the kick chase was poor and lazy, and it's that again.
One at the back.
Not straight.
Not straight.
Now the errors come.
This is a very crucial part of the first half.
Well, we've seen 3 poor line-out throws now from Tatafu, unfortunately. The other parts of his game have been fantastic.
Just stay calm.
But when Spieth nearly scored before, it was from line-out.
Whenever
that was not straight.
It's an easy one for referees when you take it on your outside shoulder. It's easy for the
Flankers
ref.
bound, please, Australia.
Al Baxter warming up on the sideline too.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Stay up. Stay behind the ball a metre in.
Dupria and Butch
Advantage back,
James.
Kinelli. Half back.
And they're offside.
Penalty advantage for offside.
Penalty advantage as well, so they've got an opportunity if they want to take it Nokway over on the far side.
They can be as audacious as they like here, the Springboks. Take chances because they've still got the penalty. Here it comes.
And it's right in front. Silly penalty, Wallabies. Offside at the scrum.
Matfield got no other option than to go for goal. At the moment, they're 2 converted tries ahead.
9.
This pushes them beyond that reach. That scrum is so solid when Farouk Dupree clears it here. Butch James today is on the front foot. He only is 1 metre behind the advantage line when he receives it. Today he's running forwards. There's the difference because of the solidity of the South African scrum.
Well, all those naysayers of the Elves saying that they'll take the scrum out of the game. The scrum's been the dominant feature of the game. The way the Springboks have been able to get their sides up, exactly as you say, Marto, it's built a great platform from the back line. And quite frankly, that last try came from a great South African scrum.
Yeah, so true. And then when they're on the offence, the Wallabies were supposed to be 5 metres back behind the lattermost feet. And they could feel the panic and they encroached, and here comes 3 points to Butch James. I'll tell you what, if it's not 3 points, he may find himself off the field.
James. Crowd like it. So do the touch judges. The Wallabies won't be liking it though. It is 20 points to 3. It is the Springboks, supposedly the team in disarray. And remember, this is their 4th test match in as many Saturdays. They're the ones that are supposed to be doing it a bit tough, but at the moment they are full of running. Their coach, who's been under pressure, said, well, it's going to take us a little bit of confidence, and they got that with the first try and they've gone on with it. Now here's Adam Ashley Cooper.
Well, it hasn't been working. I reckon they're going to have a rethink about just punching these high balls back.
There's Farouk Dupree. Unlike recent weeks, the Springboks are controlling the ball.
Turnover.
Ghetto. Here's Tamata Tahu. There's the grubber kick, and it goes straight into the midriff of one of the Springboks, and it's play on.
Oh, easy turnover ball. Now the Boks get a chance to pump it long.
And it's going to be, it's charged down though. Lost forward though, so those 50-50 things just not going the Wallabies' way. Cliffy Palu that time trying to pick it up.
Oh, tough one to pick up too, but he had to have a crack at it.
Righto, the Boks have been trying to play an expansive brand of rugby as opposed to last year's World Cup winning style.
Al Baxter coming on.
But Scott Berger kicking today, that indicates that they are very interested in field position. Wow, Baxter's on, dunning off while we watch the replay.
What the Springboks are doing so the Wallabies can't chase the kick, it's just forming a wall of players so that the chaser can't get around there quickly.
But they shouldn't be. They've already had a look at it 8 times tonight. They've been just pumping it into the centre of the field. They probably need now to look at probing the angles. The 2 wingers for the Boks cannot kick. Put it to them. Put it behind them.
Reset.
If you're going to put a centre field bomb up there, there's the beast having a crack at Al Baxter first scrum.
Split it both, mate.
Just a welcome, that's all it was.
Patience. Yeah, you're fine. It's fine. Just get on with the job.
32 minutes gone in the first half. 45 years since the Wallabies have won at this ground. 45 years since they've won at altitude in South Africa.
Look at this, field position again, isolating Adam Ashley Cooper.
And a good chase here. That's the difference. Look at that. They're all over the top of Ashley Cooper. Green jumpers everywhere.
Wallabies in trouble here.
Accordingly, gets back. So Takiri did well enough to help Ashley Cooper. Now here's Mortlock.
Centre field bomb again.
And Yatchis is waiting for it. Takes it. Got it to Bismarck Duplessis. Up over halfway here. Support play very good for the Springboks.
No one in the Wallaby line there. Now they've set up.
Now it's Becker. Scored the first try. Halfway mark. Still going over the advantage line, the Springboks. They're winning the battle at the breakdown this week as Matfield has a run. Pops it out the back door. Knockback is a call. Yetches! Conrad Yetches, Nokway, man on the outside, into touch, scrambling, desperate defence by the Wallabies, pays off this time, but gee, they're getting some numbers on the far side.
Takiri made that final tackle over the far side on the opposite wing. There's the
Lotta
break.
now. James Horwell drags it down. Back it goes to Giteau. And into touch this time. We'll have a line out around about 9 metres from halfway.
Gee, those passes sticking today for the Springboks. Handling errors, 6 by the Wallabies, only 1 by the Boks. It was virtually a reverse stat at this stage of the game last weekend. Territory pretty even there.
Du Plessis. Good ball. Here's a couple of the loose forwards out in centre field. Berger combining with Spies, and now Dupria and James. Over it goes Yanchez, and Yanchez having a blinder. Charge down that time from Adam Ashley Cooper though.
Well, that could have been anything there.
Still it went to about a 4-on-2 situation then out wide.
Oh, he summed it up nicely, Yanchez. That was the tactic. He was getting closed in on the sideline.
Stay here on the 15.
So good field position again for the Springboks. Another try before half-time is going to make life difficult. Bugger! De Villiers still going.
Again, it's open on the left. Two big wide passes, and they score again.
Try coming up. He's got a hat-trick. A hat-trick to Knockway. Unbelievable. If they were a racehorse, they would be swamped.
Just put that one down to good, hard, straight running. That's all it was. It was set it up for De Villiers. Just good, hard, straight running. Well, what does one say at half-time if you're the coach of this Wallaby side?
Well, we know that he has wonderful credentials, the Wallaby coach. But, gee, how do you turn this around?
Well, here's the ball. Geez, De Villiers just got on the outside of Tahu. Mortlock struggled to put him down. Skoltberger right on the spot. And there was no way. Look, 5, 6 on 2.
Well, quite simply, when they breached the Australian defence, it was Mortlock and Adam Ashley Cooper had to make the tackle. And then by then, there was only Peter Hines left. 5 on 1. Knockware. That's 3 tries. Has not had a finger laid on him for the try, which means the Australian defence had to contract. It was like putting a stick down an ant's nest. They all had to rush to the problem, and then when they went wide, there was no one left out there to defend.
Bonus point already for the Springboks. Unfortunately for them, it's come too late as far as the Tri-Nations is concerned. But they'll take this one. James. Oh, another nail in the coffin. Whoa, 27 points to 3. Real problems for the Wallabies. We saw it when they beat the All Blacks in Sydney and they didn't quite back up in Auckland. Robbie Dean said last week it was great to break an 8-year drought in Durban, but it's going to be even greater if they can back it up. Well, so far, they haven't.
They're making Knockware. Well, it's the players inside doing the work. Knockware's taking the rewards. He's looking like Superman. Spies takes the kick off.
Taken back.
All right, this time it goes long. He finds space. Every time they kick, they fall. Oh, what a kick there. Butch James, incredible. They're going to go restart. Doesn't do him too much good. Only makes 15 metres. Matt Giteau.
Geez, it would have been better having the line out and getting settled then.
Well, this is where they broached the Australian defence from that last line out. Centre field, Skoltberger went crazy.
Couldn't believe his luck, Skoltberger, before.
They've gone shorter this time, only 4 jumpers. Berger's at inside centre, Joanne Smith at first receiver.
One by Matfield. Du Plessis. Dupria. Here's Berger running strongly again.
Oh, they've got numbers again. Mortlock's on his own with Hyde.
And Ngani. Yanchez.
Well, there's certainly Springbok runners in the Wallaby defence then.
Here's Jacobs. Becker. Dupria. James punching it into the corner. Into touch in goal, fortunately for the Wallabies.
Come back to the centre field about 25 metres out. Scrum, Wallaby feed. They look like world champions, the Springboks.
They are.
Not the last 3 out of the last 4 games they've lost. 3 out of the last 3 Tri-Nations tests they've lost. Suddenly they've turned around. What do you reckon, Kernsey? Their senior players have gone, hold on, this coach doesn't know what he's doing. They're now playing long, kicking it, and then dominating when they get there.
There's no doubt about that, and I'm also seeing a little bit of Dick Muir written all over this and some of the moves that the Springboks are playing. There's no doubt. I mean, I chatted to a couple of the guys yesterday from the Springbok team, and they said basically that they've just said said amongst each other, let's forget about what the coaches said. We're just going to do our own thing, and boys, this is what we're going to do. And they've taken control. They've got huge motivation because of the pride of the country. They've been hit from pillar to post by their public this week and by their press. But I tell you what, they're going to be heroes tomorrow.
See that stat, 7 visits to the opposition, 22. South Africa, from those 7 visits, 4 tries.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
Well, the Wallabies certainly have to hold them out here to have any hope of a comeback.
Go, Green. Go, Green. Green, go. Go.
Yeah, that was the beast that was in that. He took something on that didn't need to be taken on.
Right, step back, Green, step back, Yellow. Stay here with this guy.
So the penalty will go against Tendai and Tawarira. And Gito will be pretty happy to put this into touch and then see the halftime interval.
Well, they want to look for a try from this line out. They have to. They have to score from this line out to have any chance of winning this game.
The good thing about Robbie Deans, though, Kernsey, here's the fight, just a couple of bits of pushing. The good thing about Robbie Deans, he will say to them, hold on, if they can score 27 points in the first half, you guys can do it in the second half.
Stolen.
They're not going to score here.
Halftime siren sounds. Jacobs.
Cooper's got to run past 29 players. There's 3.
Ashley Cooper had the opportunity to kick it out. That would have been the end of the first half, and now he's turned it over. Holding on. They take it now. Springboks. Oh, big tackle. Hugh McVenaman with their arms in that.
No.
Still there for the Springboks. Some big hits going in there. Still there.
Trouble for the Wallabies wide.
They've got numbers. If they get it out there, they do. Becker, here's Undengani. Undengani back on the inside. Duplessis.
Oh, toying with Phil Waugh.
It could have been over with a kick into touch at half-time, but now, all of a sudden...
Oh, huge hit, Talu.
And Tawarira. Wallabies, can they hold them out?
Push back two.
Gaps out to the left for the Springboks, and that's where they're going. De Villiers wide ball. They're about 15 out.
Wallabies had numbers on that occasion.
No!
Takiri's offside.
Matfield put it down. Ndengani. Still there for the Springboks.
Gaps around the edge of the Wallaby maul here.
There's a knock forward there. Missed by the referee.
Advantage is over. And now the kick through. Gito. Butch James claims it.
You cannot impede the runner there. Becker was just pushing Gito out of the way, so he couldn't chase.
I reckon the Boks reckon they've had to go. It's been going for 2 minutes now, extra time. Petria just dribbled it out, won't he? Oh no, they're going again.
And Phil Waugh, will he put it out? No, he won't. Well, full credit to them.
No, that's not forward. Ignore the crowd, sir.
Takiri kicking. And now Matfield knocks it back. It's still play on.
Well, you're getting your money's worth in this game.
Wallabies go in that time. Can they win it? Yes, they can.
No.
Free kick.
Still going.
This man here.
A quick tap and go.
I heard it called no rat, meaning Sam, don't go the quick tap, but he did anyway, and the Wallabies are going to turn this over.
That's half time.
Well, after all that, the referee, I think he's keen for a bit of refreshment at halftime as well. Knockway, a hat-trick in the first half, and all of a sudden, the South African fans who are calling for the captain, the coach, pretty much the whole team to be sacked. Now they're well and truly delighted with this first half effort. 27 points to 3. Try to Becker, hat-trick to Knockway. Stay with us, we'll be back right after this break. Points to 3. It is the Springboks over the Wallabies at Ellis Park in Johannesburg. An absolute hiding in the first half by the world champions. 4 tries to none, just the 1 penalty to Matt Giteau. And I tell you what, Marto, if you have a look at these halftime stats, it doesn't make good reading for the Wallabies.
Just go to the first one. Handling errors and those little highlights we saw just then. Today, they're making hay while the sun shines. They're not making errors. Plenty of tackles haven't even been made by the Australians. They've missed a few, but possession. The South Africans today have had the possession, plus they've had the patience to go along with it. They're not making those final errors today. That's being made by the Wallabies. They're making the mistakes when in possession, not showing the patience. And defensively, they're letting holes. They're allowing the Springboks to get in behind them. And then the problem is they're using a lot of their outside backs to make those tackles and to plug it up. That was that error that came off Ashley Cooper's head. But the Springboks have been on the front foot all afternoon. They halted the Wallabies. The only period they had advantage was in the first 5. Since then, they've been able to go forward. That one there, Tamana Tahu, a mistake in communication, and allowed a second rower, Becker, to run on the inside of Mortlock, make him look bad. That was Tahu's worry. They didn't have the extra numbers there. That was made, but this time they had big numbers. Great hands, Dupree, and then also De Villiers. Made it look easy to Knockway. Scored the try without anyone tackling him. It was a case that was repeated. Forward dominance by the Springboks made sure that the Wallabies, they had to do defence in close and allowed the opportunities out wide. This man here, the second of his 3 tries, because there was no one in front of him. The Wallabies using all the defenders in close. A carbon copy again. Just toss it to me and I'll dot it down, says Knockway. There's try 3. Complete dominance of the first half by the Springboks. They're playing smart, plus they're playing accurately this time.
Yes, well, the Wallaby dressing room, they'll be in not quite mourning at the moment, but certainly it's not going well for them. And it's so much better this week for the Springboks. Peter De Villiers will be pretty happy with that first half. 4 tries to none. The Springboks lead the Wallabies 27-3. Can they come back? Pull off a Lazarus performance. Stay with us. We'll be back after the break on Fox Sports. Welcome back to Fox Sports, live nationwide, and uninterrupted coverage of the Tri-Nations clash. The Qantas Wallabies making their way out onto Ellis Park, a real bogey ground for them over the years. Their last win in Johannesburg was 1963. They haven't gone back-to-back in the Republic since 63. Well, he's a lonely supporter at the moment, isn't he? That Wallaby fan. And they've come from far and wide too, Phil.
Yeah, they have, Clarkie. They've come from everywhere. Chatting to a couple of blokes the other night. One from Yeovil and one from Dubbo. So I've got to say happy birthday to Jono Woodbridge. 16th birthday today. Mate, we wish we could give you a better birthday present than the way the Wallabies are playing. And there they are, a few of the supporters.
Stay with them, Australia. They've got the win behind them. Is it a 24-point win?
27 points to 3. The Springboks have scored 4 tries already, so they've picked up a bonus point. There's Knockway. He scored 3 and he hasn't a hand laid upon him.
Has not made a tackle, Knockway.
Hasn't had to feel the high ball, more importantly. What's actually the biggest danger now for the Springboks is they have to keep playing the way they did in that first half. They They can't go into their shell and go defensive. If they do, that's how you lose games in these situations. Somehow I think they're so pumped up they won't.
Right. Just remember to hold back because you're going to drop back.
Silverware on offer today, the Nelson Mandela Plate. The Wallabies, believe it or not, have already wrapped it up because it's played over a 3-test series, and the Wallabies won in Perth and Durban, so they're going to be presented with the Mandela Plate at the end of the match, irrespective of the result. Takiri puts it into touch. They take a quick throw in at Yanchis, and this has been where the Springboks have had an edge with their kick and their chase. And Yanchis causing some disruptions in there.
The offside in front of Yanchis. He kicked and the players didn't retire the 10 metres. You see the difference there? The Wallabies seemed to chase that kick that occasion. Had players there to put pressure on Yanchis.
Wardlock with the choice. He could take a penalty where the incident occurred, or he can go back to where the kick was taken, just outside the 22. Wardlock, as you would expect a captain to do, has put his faith in the scrum.
Well, the scrum has been pretty solid, except for that situation right on their own line when it was most crucial.
Well, it's definitely the best attacking platform, and the Wallabies need to start attacking from the word go. Their backline's got a look of menace about it. Takiri standing behind inside centre Tahu.
Reset required.
Come on.
Springboks after this will go back to their provincial competition, the Currie Cup. And then later on in November they'll play Wales, Scotland and England. They wanted to finish on a high, and so far it's going to plan.
Wallabies last weekend in Durban scored a first phase try. It's a rarity these days, but Sterling Mortlock, it looks like they're trying a fairly elaborate move this time. No, not going to get a chance. Palu
gives it to Giteau. And that time Tamana Tahu looked to go on the inside. Bit of a mix-up.
Leave it 13.
The bounce was good for Mortlock though. Now here's Hugh McMenamin. No Vickerman this week. Stolen. And if that had gone to ground...
Oh, if that had gone to hand, 5-on-1 Takiri was faced with, and Ashley Cooper was a mile away in cover.
Scrum.
So a simple turnover there. They just ripped it out of McMenamin's grasp.
Well, he had enough worries at himself, Hugh McMenamin. He was going backwards and Spees focused on the ball. Oh, if Majati catches that, they're away.
No, seconds yet.
There's a few worries between Giteau and Tahu. I think when that ball came from the quick tap just then, Tahu thought the move was still on and went on the inside. Giteau just wanted to play hands.
Here's Palu. Takes the tackle. McMenamin again.
Someone run forward.
Here's Phil Waugh.
Wallabies a little bit predictable coming around the corner. 3 rucks in a row. Springbok ball turnover.
Well, they couldn't really win a breakdown in Durban. Now all of a sudden they're well and truly on top. That's taken back into the 22 by Ashley Cooper.
Yes, have a run.
Oh, Peter Hines, shocker.
It's not happening for the Wallabies.
Yanchis wants to threaten with a quick throw.
Now Hines was under no pressure whatsoever there. Springboks kicking wonderfully well at altitude, and the Wallabies just can't get it together.
Phil Waugh had to let go of that. He was on the ground. He had people all over him.
When the Wallabies are running around the corner, around the back of the maul to take the next pass, they're not straightening up on that run. They're just maintaining their sideward action, which is making it easy for them to pick off.
No, off the foot. Knock on gold.
Wallabies have knocked it on, so it's advantage here for the Springboks. And De Villiers!
Oh.
Jacobs! 80 Jacobs! Brilliant try. A double last week, and now he has opened them up like a can of sardines. And I tell you what, it's woeful from the Wallabies at this stage.
Oh, great running by Jacobs in the end, but put it down to John De Villiers. The ball came back. There was a hint of a knock on. The referee said it was by the Wallabies. They went wide. De Villiers, wonderful straightener of the play and unleashed the backhanded pass in the tackle. Have a look at this. Oh, what a great piece of vision. Two defenders there. Jacobs got on the inside of Mortlock. Hines came over from his right wing, but quite simply he was outfoxed because Jacobs changed the angle. Hines couldn't adjust. Tried at Jacobs to go with the two from last week.
Well, it's a complete reversal of last week. This pass last week from De Villiers would definitely have gone to ground. But since this week, everything is going to hand from the Springboks. The Wallabies, well, hapless.
Runaway nugget, Adrian Jacobs. What a try. First Tahu missed the tackle on John De Villiers. Gitto had to make the tackle and he unloaded that great backhanded ball. When your defensive line gets breached, it's impossible for Mortlock to turn and chase Jacobs.
There's another two from Butch James. And so it is 34 points to 3. Now, I don't want to be a party pooper.
You're not going to talk about Dave Wilson and how happy he may be watching this from Australia, the captain. What year was that, 1997 in Pretoria?
Yeah, the winning margin on that occasion, 39 points.
Well, Springboks have made some changes as well. Mujadi's come off. And Yanni du Plessis is on.
So we truly have brothers in arms. Bismarck and Yanni du Plessis, tight head, prop and hooker.
Peter Hines. Now Adam Ashley Cooper.
All right, let's have a look at the kicking game, the chasing game. Has it changed? Are the Wallabies putting any pressure on?
Oh, no, but this time...
Oh, he's saying that was knocked back too.
My goodness. So even those calls going against the Wallabies?
Oh, and those moments too.
Just everything going against the Wallabies.
One of those days. De Prea, who had a kick out on the full in the first half, looks at that one and thanks his lucky stars. Takiri was prepared to let it go. Time for the cavalry. George Smith coming on. Phil Waugh off.
George Smith makes his 91st appearance. One there.
Not straight.
Might be time to get Stephen Moore on. I'm surprised he hasn't started warming up. How many is that, Kenzie? 4 dud throws.
Touch on my calls.
Crowd celebrating here already. Very different atmosphere to how it was in Durban.
Are those Springbok fans that deliberately stayed away because they thought their home team was going to lose? They'll be kicking themselves now.
Get it up.
It's been a wonderful performance by the world champions. Backs to the wall. They've come out.
I'll tell you what,
Their hearts out so far.
before the next line out's thrown, Pilota now will be off the field. Stephen Moore will be on at hooker.
De Prea. At time Takiri was able to control it. Back it goes to Gitto.
Let's have a look at the chasing game.
De Prea. Plenty of time.
Oh, the length of the kick.
Now Lottie Takiri.
Straight to Knockware. Oh, he's let it go.
Can he kick?
Oh, no, he can't.
Well, it was a pop gun, but it was an accurate pop gun.
Well, that's why they should have been kicking to him all day. He can't kick, and you saw how the lack of confidence he had when the ball came anywhere near him from any height.
Tatafu Pilota now replaced by Stephen Moore. Throws it immediately.
Didn't look straight. And it wasn't. What a start.
I'm not kidding, it's not straight.
Through quick, Kearnsey, and
If you take it early, you're throwing it straight.
how's the
down
confidence going, this Wallaby team? That is nowhere near straight. One of those days.
You're binding on the elbow. You can't lash me before you go in. Crunch. Touch.
This crowd pretty deafening. enjoying this.
Oh, the Mexican wave's been going on around this stadium for the last 3 minutes, showing their disdain of the Wallabies.
Touch, pause, engage.
De Bria to James. De Villiers, double round, Butch James. Yanchus coming into the line. The kick through! And Ngani flying, picks it up back on the inside. Tries! Unbelievable again! Where has this form been in the last month?
Oh, there he is, Nokwe. Get up, son, and get you a little bit of sunshine. 4 tries. Jonky Nokwe took the pass off his other winger, Ndungani. That's 2 tries. He's received the final pass from his right winger. He's hurt himself in the tackle. George Smith claimed that he didn't ground the ball properly.
Well, and that's the first time he's actually been touched on the field today. Nokwe, and he's injured. Just everything going right. The little bounce on those things is so 50-50, but the Springboks are making them 99-1. Look at that ball bobble, how difficult that's going to be to pick up. Oh, straight in his hands.
No worries with the grounding there, it was obvious, but Adam Ashley Cooper just got there too late. He was up in the defensive line, the Grubble kick went straight past him. Peter Hines from the right wing couldn't get there in time.
Most tries by a Springbok against Australia. 4 tries, Yongi Nokwe and Butch James. Misses that one.
More cavalry for the Wallabies. Drew Mitchell and Ryan Cross coming onto the field.
Yeah.
Replacing Tahu and Hines.
And Ngani, great pick up there. It was George Smith, actually. No, it was Tahu who made the final tackle. But again, it was good back play. John de Villiers was at the centre of it. He drew the original wrap ball to create the space, which allowed Jančić plenty of time. What deafening noise here. Nokwe's going to be carted off the field. Peter Hines is off the field. Drew Mitchell's on. Tahu's off. He's had trouble in defence today, Tamana Tahu. Ryan Cross is on.
Yeah, well, a learning experience for Tamana Tahu, who's played Rugby League International, State of Origin, NRL Grand Finals, but never has he been in this situation, this cauldron.
No, 7, no,
And
19.
nothing going the way of the Wallabies. And Butch James, he doesn't want to play it inside his own 22. He just hammers it down the other end of the field. And the Wallabies, again, not the best, but this time Percy knocks it back, so gives him a half a chance. Out to Butch James, pop gun over the top. And out of Ashley Cooper. Cooper will chase his own kick this time. Picked it up. George Smith. The kick ahead. Again.
No one there for the Wallabies, though.
Speed. He's fast as a number 8. He got there easily.
I don't know whether you can pick it up at home, but Nokwe is on the Medicam about to go into the tunnel. The crowd is acknowledging the 4-try hero, the left winger for the Springboks. There he is now.
Oh, and they're away down the right-hand side. Very short kick off and away.
Ndungani.
Berger. And that's Becker over on the far side.
How's it offside?
Here's Jacobs.
Get it!
He's 10 metres
He was offside and they've got him.
Yeah, the referee asked the assistant referee if it was okay.
We were right in line with it. Gito was defending on the wing, in the wing position, the right wing position, and it was definitely an umbrella. He was up to 10 metres
Go, hold
offside.
it
See it
down.
now, bottom of screen. Have a look, see if
hold.
Gito's offside. Only by 2
outside.
metres there. Keeps creeping, and it's very obvious there to the referee. Spectator try only.
39 points to 3. Getting very close to their biggest ever winning margin.
Clarkie, another change coming in at halfback, and a great story. Sam Cornelly comes off, Brett Sheehan on. Brett Sheehan, there he is on screen. His brother Chris is a Qantas pilot, changed his schedule, flew a jumbo over yesterday, and he is going to be the pilot of the Wallabies going home tomorrow night.
Play on, general play.
Play on. George Smith did well to dive on that one and retrieve it. So Robbie Dean's going to the bench. I thought it was going to be an effective bench today, but when you've got your backs to the wall, well, replacements are not going to be able to do a lot for you.
No,
they're playing for pride now.
How far Janches will kick this back. Oh, he was out of his 22.
Outside.
Yeah, mistake by Janches just to overrun the line.
He's hit it 65 metres though, but just a little bit excited. At altitude, this is what can happen. Yeah, that's all it takes.
Yeah, he was always going for the big one.
The Wallabies have won a line out.
And here's Mordlock running it in. But the defence is strong today from the Springboks. Been a good all-round performance.
Roll.
They've worked out their problems at the breakdown as well. Giddo, inside ball. Adam Ashley Cooper. Taken by the Beast, and every time the Beast gets involved, the crowd roars, even though this is not his home ground. Giddo. Now it's George Smith. Dummying. George Smith! Smith! Pull down, 5 metres out. Sheehan goes in. Gives it to Giddo. Giddo to Robinson.
Could have found a speedier runner to hit the gap. Oh, they're piling in the box.
Yeah, a good clean out from Skolkberger on that occasion. Now it's Rocky Elsom. He has to come back in. Solid defence by the Springboks.
Still going, Elsom.
Sheehan. Can somebody find a hole? Gitto. Mordlock. No, it's not. It's the replacement, Drew Mitchell. Mitchell will score the try.
Put it down to George Smith on the opposite side. He took off and ran 20 metres, put a defend on, put another one, could have thrown a wild pass, didn't, showed respect for the ball. 4 phases later, the Wallabies pinned them with an overlap on the far side. Stephen Moore did well to suck in 2 defenders. Gitto knew he just had to release the ball because it was only the Beast against the speed of Drew Mitchell.
Yeah, no, lovely work from Stephen Moore. He had 2 players on him. De Villiers had to be offside, rushing up like that. Drew Mitchell does well just to finish it off. Well, the reserves that have come on have made a difference. Moore involved, Mitchell involved, George Smith involved, as Moto said, on the other side of the field.
Yeah, there's been a sluggishness all game from the kick-off today with the Wallabies. Made 5 changes to their starting lineup. It's backfired.
Well, you can see that the Wallabies have picked their pace up in the last 5 minutes.
Giddo from out wide. Can't add the extras, so 39 points to 8. Looking for some respectability. Another look at it here.
Had the numbers, have a look at it. They got 2 men out wide, including Takiri and Mitchell. Mitchell going over in the tackle of the Beast.
Just wait 21,
Mitchell.
please.
As Ruapino comes on, Mitchell wearing number 24, and there's a good reason for that. The 2 number 22 Wallaby jumpers were stolen from their team hotel. Butch James coming off. Well, that's been Butch's best performance
Thank you.
of 2008. Like any number 10, he loves it when his forward pack is dominating and going forward. He's had plenty of room. Now Takiri sends it downtown.
Oh, nice kick, but it'll only be a quick throw to Prayer. And again, he'll pump it long.
Sheehan. Brett Sheehan. Gitto just keeps that one low. Bit of a nothing kick.
Bit of a nothing chase too.
And then Ngani.
Gitto made the tackle though.
They've got it again, the Springboks.
They've got chances wide.
Backwards.
Went backwards.
Rubbish.
Smith Yetches. Ryan Cross. And they were able to keep it alive. Here's Spiess.
Everything going right for the box.
Even that, is that offside?
That is offside. There's been a knock on and an offside here.
Well, fortunately, the touch judge on the far side
Scrum that.
picked it up.
All right, Bryce Lawrence, have a look at the rules. When John de Villiers caught it, the ball was propelled towards the opposition try line, straight into the ground. Just because his hand was behind him, it doesn't matter. Janches taking on Ryan Cross.
Time out.
Du Plessis missing that. Comes off Percy Montgomery. Straight to Du Plessis. He knew he was in the wrong. So did Percy. They looked like they'd been caught stealing something.
So Ben Robinson down injured. Expect McDunning, this is rather predictable. Expect McDunning to come back on. Although Dunning's not warming up.
39 points to 8. It was 27-3 at half-time. Wallabies needed to be the first team to score in the second half, but
Your defensive position is
Jacobs and
not running
Nockway
1 metre.
got 5 pointers before Mitchell chimed into the back line to score for the Wallabies. Psychologically, I was concerned because they know that they're still in the running to win the Tri-Nations, even with a loss here today. But gee, they had a challenge on their hands to win at altitude for the first time in 45 years. So Matt Dunning comes back out into the action
Again, please.
as Ben Robinson is escorted from the field.
Just keep it tidy, eh? Keep it tidy.
Yeah, Brisbane, Newport.
Yeah.
Let's hope that's not a broken hand. It'll hold him out of the Bledisloe in 2 weeks' time in Brisbane. Looks sore, but no one was going to withstand the onslaught from the Springboks in the opening 15 or 20 minutes. They were awesome. First half.
Palu gives it now to Sheehan, and here's Adam Ashley Cooper. Good defence by the Springboks. They're not going to take their foot off the gas today, seemingly. Oh, and that's a bad pass.
Well, John de Villiers for the box. He was all over it. The ball will come out to Sheehan though.
But a net loss for the Wallabies, and Palu. Skalkberger right over the top of him, and Palu holding on.
Let go of the ball.
As
Let go of
Skalky
the
was
ball.
locked straight onto Palu and wants to have a crack a little bit more.
No 110 there.
Gitto was offside again.
He's got the hand out. It'll be
Advantage over.
advantage is over. Johnny Du Plessis having a run.
Off his feet advantage.
Advantage
Leave it
here.
six.
Rocky Elson
Free
that
kick
time off his feet. Free kick advantage. Adam Ashley Cooper.
No advantage.
No advantage, so we're going to
Off your
come back
feet.
for a free kick.
Yeah, it's interesting. At that very same breakdown where Skalkberger did so well and got the ball, there's no way Skalkberger was on his feet either. He was laying across those other players, and he's got away with it.
No one is bridging. I wasn't going to complain, but now they showed the replay. It's bridging. If you've got your knees resting on a player who's on the ground, that's also counted as if you're on the ground, but happened so quickly. Tahu having a bit of a think about, gee, I'm looking forward to seeing some of my defensive errors. Communication worries between Gitto, Mortlock and Tahu today. But gee, they had some pressure on them with the box running going forward and providing numbers out wide. They were threatened on so many occasions, the Wallaby defence.
Crouch.
So halfway through the second half.
Crouch. Touch. Hold it. Stand up. Hold it. How about we crouch when I say, eh? Okay. Thank you. Crouch. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Go half down the middle.
Speece picks it up. De Villiers. Drew Mitchell. And Mitchell, did he take it into the in goal?
No, it was already over when he grabbed hold of it. 22 restart. What a wonderful check side punt. It's when you kick it the opposite side by Jean de Villiers. It pulled up and straightened. Have a look at that. Hit it with the outside of his foot. And the ball screwed around. Mitchell just grabs it over the line and ball down 22.
So Matt Gitto not going long. They're going to contest it. Matfield leaves it behind. Ryan Cross from outside the 22. The Springboks this time let it bounce, and Cross takes Berger around the bootlaces.
That was more like a chasing game by Ryan Cross. Quick tap and go left, and the Wallabies are a big threat.
You had no clean out.
Too slow.
Sheehan. Here's Stephen Moore with the fumble. Hugh McManaman. Out it goes. Sheehan again. Quick hands to Kerry.
Does well to Kerry to hang on to that.
Slow
We've got
coming
Stephen
up.
Moore at 5'8" here.
It's not the first time he's been in the back line.
It does hold the momentum a little bit. Wallabies need some of that.
Now Rocky Elsom.
Roll!
Beast has got hold of it.
This man here. Leave it, leave it, leave it. No, leave it.
Outplayed, outsmarted,
Hey, get away, man.
out-enthused, out-muscled. It's the
You
Springboks
should never have
in
hold of it.
control.
Hey, smile.
Percy Montgomery. To Kerry, inside the 22. And into touch on the far side.
They didn't even want to run with it then, Lottie. Just pump it downfield.
Let it go.
I think they're exhausted, the Wallabies. They've had so much work to do. Yeah, the crowd was claiming he was outside his 22. That showed he wasn't. Box again.
Win your spine.
There's another kick to Takiri. Takes it. Pulls the mark.
Come 12, 12, 12. Stay here, you're in front.
Boxer got it covered.
Covered. They got three of them back there.
Furi Dupree has a cup of tea and a bit of a think, then goes long, into touch.
Well, he goes short, actually.
Yeah, he tried to go long. I'm surprised they've still got Furi Dupree on. I thought they'd give Ricky January a go, the hero from their win against the All Blacks in Dunedin. Oh, the sun right in Stephen Moore's eyes, and they lose their 6th line out of the day. Remember how they lost to the All Blacks in Auckland? Was it 8 line-outs they lost that night?
Unfortunately, Ruan Pienaar makes an uncharacteristic mistake. Puts it into touch.
You know, taking nothing away from the players, though. You know, the selection's got Tatapu Polota now, and you've got two very young second rowers. So they are losing that experience there
Stay here, please.
in the structure of your line-out and the execution of your line-out.
Well, I know it's coaching speak, but Robbie Deans will learn a lot from this. He was prepared to back some of the youngsters, and it hasn't worked out. Giddo, now Mordlock. Oh, well, that has been the story of the day.
There's been some real loose stuff in the back line. That's probably the 4th time we've seen it go long and loose.
And they turn it over, and there's the kick ahead. And Drew Mitchell will watch it run into touch, and so the Springboks now will run to this line out. They're full of running. The Wallabies out on their feet. I don't know what John Thornett and the team of 1963 had, but they remain looking at how things are unfolding here. The only Wallaby team to go back-to-back in South Africa.
There the errors of passing. Not enough men getting to the ball fast enough, meaning Takiri had to try to hang on to it a bit too long on the ground. This crowd is going nuts.
Well, the Wallabies win it, and Palu, no way through there.
See, we haven't heard too much of Cliff Palu's name today.
Stay 19.
Giddo.
Yep.
Oh, he's enjoyed the altitude with that kick. May get a favourable bounce. No.
And Agani.
Got the
10
favourable
metres
bounce.
green.
Look at Janshis. He's made the chase.
Well, he's looked world class today, Etches, and yet in previous weeks it hasn't been the case as Adam Ashley Cooper tries to straighten.
Boxer got men on their feet in numbers.
He needed to go wide then, Adam Ashley Cooper. Just throw it. He must have got a call from outside.
Dupria pops it out the back door. There's Mark Duplessis. No knock on, they're saying. Yanni Duplessis. Popped out there for Australia. And Matt Giddo.
On his right foot, but again to Janchis. He has been excellent today, Conrad Janchis.
Burger! Came off the legs of Drew Mitchell. They've got the throw to the line out. The Springboks. They're sensing blood.
Haven't scored for a while either, Janchis. Good footwork.
There's no way this pass last week would have gone to hand. Just magnificent, Scott Burger, on that occasion. Great tackle from Giddo to bring him down and reduce his options at the same time. And smart play to throw it straight into the leg of the Wallaby player.
Now Ricky January's on for Furi de Prea, embracing him.
Come on, please.
And then Garney's on as well. That's Luke Watson.
Dean Mum on for Hugh McMenamin.
So what Luke Watson's on. Luke Watson, if you don't know, is the Stormers flanker, or sometimes number 8. He's on for Endon Garney on the wing today. I think Pierre Spies, the number 8, will go to the wing.
Pienaar! Ruan Pienaar! Simply brilliant. And this crowd at Ellis Park in Johannesburg is upright. They're on their feet. They're vocal. All is forgiven.
And they're on the front foot on the field, the Springboks. There's one reason. Have a look at top of your screen now is one of my favourite players, Ruan Pienaar. He wants to play halfback. He wants to play halfback. They put him at 5'8", and that shows why. Butch James lucky to hang on in the face of the challenge, but Pienaar brilliant individually, both off the right and left foot, can kick and step off both. Easy kick to Percy Montgomery.
Well, that shows what the Wallabies have got to put up with. But, oh, goodness me, just terrible defence. There was a million players there to tackle.
Straight between. Who was it? George Smith, Cliff Parlow. Neither of them obviously made a clear call. And by then he had too much momentum up for Drew Mitchell, who was coming across on that right wing. Went bang off his right foot. Talented footballer, Ruan Pienaar, especially when your team's going forward. It makes life a lot easier.
46 points to 8. And to think that the Wallabies are still in the running to win the Tri-Nations. They take on the All Blacks in Brisbane in a fortnight. They will be desperate to get home.
Great
Over the top it goes. And here's Stephen Moore. Out on the right flank. Sheehan again. 18 is Dean Mum.
It's been a while since they tested or stretched the Springbok defence. The Wallabies had not enough ball in continuity.
Right cross. Nothing happening. Goes into the traffic.
Release screen.
Sheehan. Here's Cliff Parlow.
Thank you. Leave it two. Too slow advantage. Move.
It's against Bismarck du Plessis holding on. Gitto. George Smith. Paul has it. Can they come up with some consolation points, the Wallabies?
Look at that counter-rucking by the Boks. Gets them a free kick.
Incredible. 4th Saturday in a row for the Springboks. They've been hammered physically by the All Blacks. It was tough against the Wallabies last week. And now all of a sudden, they've come out full of running.
Well, there's only one positive to come out of this from the Wallabies. Can you imagine how fired up they're going to be next time around? They're going to be under fire exactly the way the Springboks have been this week. Their pride has been bashed.
Well, the next opportunity to right these wrongs is at the Bledisloe Cup decider of the Tri-Nations against the All Blacks in Brisbane, September 13. They can completely erase this performance.
That didn't look to be too straight either, but they got away with it, and now across. Very flat in midfield. Burger rides him into the turf.
The Springboks have learned a great lesson of the All Blacks. How to play the breakdown. They're just laying all over it, stopping the ball from coming out, and they're getting away with it. It's magnificent.
Here's Palu out wide. Going forward. Gitto. And Ashley Cooper straightens. Jacobs holds on.
And turned over.
That's it for Sheehan.
They're still there. They got it back.
Gee, I thought it could have been a knock on there.
Horwell.
Berger picks Horwell up.
Sheehan. Now Mortlock. Here's Palu. Yanni Duplessis was there for him. So too Yetches. Sheehan.
Oh,
isolated.
Wrong way. Yeah, he won't get that one.
Numbers out wide.
Should have given it on that occasion. Have a look at the way he fell. There was no way in the world he was going to get that ball back for the Wallabies.
18 coming on now, Danny Rousseau. So the Springboks giving all of their bench a run. Why not? 38 points is the lead. 39 points is the biggest ever winning margin over the Wallabies. Happened not too far from here. It was in Pretoria in 1997.
Hold the ball, please, Rob Dimley. Rob Dimley, hold the ball.
Odlar and Ngani going back out onto the field now.
Must have been a blood bin, obviously, that he went off for.
Andreas Becker off the field.
I think they've got 16 players on the Springboks.
Yeah, that's what I was just counting too.
Where's your blood? Where's your blood injury? Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Adrian Jacobs is coming off. He's showing the referee a little bit of blood.
Lost forward, advantage green.
Advantage.
Clean ball,
And
advantage.
they're throwing it willy-nilly. Yatches over on the far side. For once, the bounce went against them. Comes back for the knock forward, though.
Oh, Bryce Lawrence, what is he thinking? Surely he could have seen that was a knock on.
Well, didn't need
Brian Urbana.
Didn't need him today, Kearnsey.
Or Francois staying there as well.
Well, I don't reckon that is a knock forward.
Why?
Went to hands and went backwards.
Oh, no chance.
He's missed a few earlier.
Hold the ball
6
properly,
minutes
don't
remaining.
Crouch.
Springboks won't be thinking record-winning margins, but they're not going to take their foot off the gas.
Hey, listen. You crouch when you're told,
Wallabies
please.
opted to train for the week in Durban, so there'll be debate about that again for another year.
I'll tell you what, to me, in the first half, it looked like the altitude had gotten to them.
Crouch.
They were blowing up big time when the Boks put the pressure on them in the first half.
Straight down.
Full penalty against the Springboks front
Hand in
row.
your head to close the gap, going straight down. 16. 15. Sorry. Now,
Wallabies will have a few days off and they'll assemble in Brisbane next Sunday for a fan day and then prepare to take on the All Blacks on Saturday, or a fortnight today. Dan Vickerman.
Oh, God, they've lost another one on their own throw, the Wallabies.
And it's out on the full there, so they'll get another crack at it here.
That's 7. You just can't lose that much set piece, especially when you're on the back foot in so much of the game. You lose 7 lineouts on your own throw. It's impossible.
Yeah, people will be watching the injured players, Vickerman, Berrick Barnes. Here's right cross. Cross! Where was that? In the first half from the Wallabies. Now Palu. And have a look at the green jumpers there. Here's Sheehan. Gives it to Gitto. And now Stephen Moore in midfield again. Running into a brick wall. A green brick wall.
leave it there. Stay 20.
They're just going right through it with their tackles, the Springboks.
To Kerry. Nothing there for him. And January was right over the top of him. And the cleaner, the player going off his feet.
Piling in.
They take it and they don't put it out. So Gitto, across it goes to Drew Mitchell. Now he's got some forwards looming up. Sends it downtown. Watson. That's Spieth. He's got the pace of a winger, we're told.
Leave it, Gold.
Gone wide. There's Yanchez. Geez, had a good game.
Undengani leaves it behind. We'll come back for a scrum.
Scrum.
So Phil Kearns, what a difference a week makes.
Well, it just shows what a difference when you get your head in the right space. The aggression that they've run with. When you play with such positive vibes in your game, things just happen and they come off for you. Everything, when you're playing like that, things just that shouldn't go right do go right. The fluky little pop passes, the 50% balls actually go well. And that's what's happened to the Springboks today. Everything they've done has been so positive. At the breakdown, they've been aggressive. The second row have done their job in terms of just smashing in at the breakdown and creating stuff. Another head knock to Sterling Mortlock. Pete de Villiers' job has been saved for a year, I reckon, at least, on this victory.
Yeah, well, he'll be saying it's a shame it has come at this stage because they're out of the running to win the Tri-Nations, but on this form, they could have performed like this week in and week out as the power of the beast.
Yeah, well, he's played very well, the beast.
Yeah, if they could have produced this form each week, they certainly would have given this Tri-Nations a real shake. But the Wallabies, at least they have an opportunity to bounce back, and psychologically, that was probably in the back of their mind.
It's one thing this Wallaby side does lack is the ability to put together a number of good wins in a row. As Sheehan's in trouble, ran away from his support.
They do get it back. And here's Giddo. He tries a short kick this time.
Straight to January.
And Ricky will counter, but he runs into James Horwell. A couple of metres inside Wallaby territory.
Just the offloads to Villiers.
I haven't seen poor defence like this from the Wallabies in the Tri-Nations so far. Even in Auckland, they didn't miss this many simple one-on-one tackles when the All Blacks certainly put it to them. They're almost out on their feet.
Oh, that's unbelievable refereeing. How Bryce Lawrence hasn't got them for holding on is ridiculous.
Yanni du Plessis, Undengani. It's a record-winning margin by the Springboks over the Wallabies. It's 51 points to 8. Undengani scores the 8th try for South Africa. 4 tries in each half.
They get 2 bonus points for that?
Not quite.
Well, just a magnificent Springbok performance. Wallabies, well, there's not much you can say about their performance. It was bad. It lacked the energy. It lacked the urgency that you'd expect of a team vying to win the Tri-Nations tournament.
Not quite like New Zealand that certainly shuts down after the All Blacks lose a few tests in a row. But I can tell you the Springboks, the South African nation, have been doing it pretty tough. Their cricketers getting cleaned out by England in the one-day series. They picked up just 1 silver medal at the Olympics. Their national rugby team.
And here comes another one, Clarkie.
Oh, de Villiers puts his foot on the gas. Jean de Villiers. They're full of running. No problem with altitude for the Springboks. A lot of debate during the week was centred on what it is about Ellis Park that helps the Springboks. PNR. It's like Sevens rugby, but Undengani snatches at that one and puts it down. And so, as they're all smiles on the bench, and Brian Habana, he can't believe it. Oh man, he says. Only seconds remaining. There goes the full-time siren. Comprehensive victory. A mistake at the end Abana can't believe it, but they didn't have a lot hinging on it. It's a record-winning margin by the Springboks over the Wallabies. 53 points to 8. A spanking. And now the Wallabies have 2 weeks to somehow regroup. We know they are different at home, but the All Blacks, they won't be shuddering in their boots at the moment, or their slippers in the early hours of Sunday morning in New Zealand.
Yeah, the Springboks were just splendid today. Everything was perfect. Their scrum good, their line-out was very, very good. Stole, 7, 8 of the Wallaby ball, 7 line-outs. Wallaby ball just couldn't go to hand. They couldn't make breaks. Their defence was hopeless. And the Wallabies will go back and look at this and, well, they'll just rue that performance. But what they will draw is a lot of strength for the next game. Expect a Wallaby performance next time round that looks very much like the Springboks tonight. Just incredible the way that everything went right for the Springboks through their positive play. It wasn't a game where they just threw it around haphazard. It wasn't that De Villiers, what they're saying De Villiers' plan wanted to be. It was a performance that was very disciplined. It was back to the old style. They just hit it up the middle, good runners, and then they created the space out wide. The crowd here are not leaving. They want to hear the speeches. It's a difficult one too, because the Wallabies win the Nelson Mandela Plate. Well, they've just been on the back of an absolute belting. You see the Wallabies getting together there. Sterling, Mortlock will talk to them about next week's performance, or 2 weeks' time performance. And, Sterling will be having some calm words, but stern words, I would say.
Okay, let's go to Greg Martin now with Victor Matfield.
The boys showed character. I think that's one thing of the box. When they're down and out, that's when they come back the hardest. And to all our family and everyone that's close to us, thanks. They supported us this week.
What was the key there? Was it the intensity? Was it, or just simply no errors?
Yes, we worked hard the whole week on patience. I think that's a big thing. And just keeping the ball and being much more direct. And that's what South Africa, that's how we play rugby. And that's what we did today.
Was there a subtle change game plan because we in the ball a lot more today?
Yeah, I just think the whole Tri Nations just show with this new ELVs, the team that kicks the ball the most wins, so we just kick the ball.
Life's a lot easier when you win.
Cheers.
Good luck, mate. Good luck on your overseas tour. It's... How do you put a turn?
Just got a bit of a problem there with our microphones. But Victor Matfield very happy with the way they bounce back, Guernsey, and why not?
And it was a nice little dig he had too for the South African press. And, well, let's call them supporters now because they're supporting after this, but the public really gave the Springboks an absolute hiding.
Let's try it one more time with Greg Martin.
Again, can you explain, when you looked up in that first half, they just kept coming at you. Attitude, was that what it was?
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, we have some audio problems. And Sterling Mortlock, well, he's got 2 weeks to try and rally these troops to try and get their heads in the right space for the Tri Nations decider in a fortnight, but comprehensively outplayed today. So South Africa 53, the Wallabies 8. We'll take a short break and then we'll come back for the after-match presentations.